They walked into the room and said nothing. No forced laughter, no nervous small talk, no desperate need to prove themselves. Just silence, calm, controlled, deliberate silence. And somehow, everyone in that room felt it. The energy shifted, heads turned, people leaned in. That person never raised their voice. They never made a scene. They never tried to win. And yet, they dominated. Here's what most men spend their entire lives chasing: attention, validation, power, believing they have to be the loudest voice to be heard. But the most dangerous people in any room? They are the ones you barely hear coming. This video is about the 7 hidden secrets of silence, the psychological tools that high-value, unshakable men use to create deep respect, control any situation, and win without ever needing to say a word. Stay until the end. What you're about to learn will permanently change the way you carry yourself. Most people are terrified of silence. They fill every pause with noise, nervous talk, over-explaining, constant justification. Why? Because silence exposes who you really are, and most people are not ready for that level of exposure. But here's the psychological truth that the world's most powerful men already know. Silence communicates what words never can. When you stay quiet in a moment that screams for reaction, you send one signal to everyone watching, that you are in complete control of yourself. And a man who controls himself controls the room. Research in behavioral psychology confirms this. People who speak less are perceived as more intelligent, more confident, and more powerful than those who talk constantly. Silence triggers uncertainty in others. Uncertainty creates intrigue. Intrigue creates respect. The moment you stop trying to fill every gap, something remarkable happens. People start paying attention to every single word you do say. This is secret number 1. Silence is not absence. It is presence, undiluted, undistracted, and impossible to ignore. Here is where most men fail. Someone challenges them, disrespects them, or tries to provoke a reaction, and they snap. They respond with anger, defensiveness, or the need to immediately justify themselves. And in doing so, they hand over all their power. The second secret of calm confidence is this: your emotional reaction is a weapon, and the question is whether you are holding it or your enemy is. High-value men understand that the one who reacts first loses, not because staying silent means you are weak, but because choosing not to react means your emotions work for you, not against you. Think about the most composed people you have ever encountered. They don't shout to make a point. They don't need to. When they finally speak, every word lands like a hammer, because the silence that came before it gave it weight. Emotional mastery is not about suppressing what you feel. It is about deciding what you let out, and when. The man who can sit in discomfort without flinching, who can take a hit and respond with a quiet smile, who can hold eye contact without needing to look away first. That man is not just confident. He is dangerous in the best possible way. Practice this. The next time someone tries to provoke you, pause, breathe. Let the silence stretch. Watch them squirm. And then, only then, decide if they even deserve a response. Your body talks even when your mouth doesn't. And most men are sending the wrong signals without even knowing it. Fidgeting, avoiding eye contact, shrinking their posture, nodding too fast, smiling too eagerly. Every one of these micro-behaviors communicates the same thing: insecurity. The third secret is this: your stillness is your signature. High-value men move with intention. They sit without slouching. They stand without shifting weight nervously. They walk into rooms without looking for permission. Their body language says what their words don't have to. I am exactly where I am supposed to be. Eye contact is one of the most powerful silent tools available to any man. Steady, calm, unbroken eye contact creates a primal sense of authority. It signals that you see people clearly, and that you are not threatened by what you see. But this is not aggression. This is presence. There is a difference. Aggressive eye contact tries to dominate. Calm presence simply holds its ground. And the man who holds his ground without tension, without ego, without the need to prove anything, that man commands every room he enters. Train your body to be still, not stiff, still. The way a mountain is still, unmoved by weather, unmoved by chaos, anchored in itself. There is a deadly mistake most people make in conversation. They reveal too much, too fast, too freely. They overshare their plans. They explain their motivations before anyone asks. They defend themselves before they are even attacked. And in doing so, they give others exactly what they need to underestimate them, or worse, to use them. The fourth secret of silent power is restraint. Strategic silence is not dishonesty. It is discipline. High-value men understand that information is currency, and you never spend your entire paycheck in one conversation. When you learn to listen more than you speak, two powerful things happen. First, you gather intelligence. You understand people's real motivations, fears, and agendas without revealing your own. Second, you create mystery, and mystery is magnetic. People chase what they cannot fully read. They respect what they cannot fully access. A man who is an open book has no depth. But a man who holds his own counsel, who smiles without explaining the joke, who acts without announcing his intentions, that man is fascinating. The next time you are tempted to over-explain, overshare, or fill the silence, stop. Hold it. Let the quiet work for you. You will be amazed at what other people will reveal about themselves simply because you gave them space to talk. Restraint is not weakness. Restraint is the highest form of self-respect. The final three secrets bind everything together. Secret 5. Slow down. The speed at which you speak reveals your internal state. Fast talk signals anxiety, nervousness, the desperate need to be heard before the moment passes. But a man who speaks slowly, who takes his time, who pauses deliberately, is communicating something entirely different: certainty. When you slow down, people slow down with you. Your words carry more weight. Your presence expands. Slow speech combined with silence is one of the most commanding combinations in human communication. Secret 6. Choose your words like you choose your battles, carefully and rarely. The man who speaks only when he has something worth saying is always heard. The man who talks constantly is always ignored, even when he says something important. Become the person in the room whose rare words stop conversations. Quality over quantity. Always. Secret 7. Certainty without arrogance. This is the final and perhaps most difficult secret. True, calm confidence does not need to announce itself. It does not need applause. It does not need anyone else's validation to remain intact. The man who is genuinely certain of who he is, his values, his direction, his identity, is unshakable. Criticism does not break him. Rejection does not define him. Failure does not finish him, because his foundation is not built on what others think. It is built on what he knows. That is the ultimate form of psychological power. That is the art of calm confidence. You have been lied to your entire life. You were told that power is loud, that confidence is aggressive, that you have to fight for attention to earn respect. None of that is true. The most powerful version of you is not the one who wins every argument. It is not the one who always has the last word. It is not the one who shouts the loudest. The most powerful version of you is calm, composed, controlled. He moves with purpose and speaks with weight. He doesn't chase, he attracts. He doesn't compete, he stands apart. He doesn't need the room to know his name. He simply walks in, and the room adjusts. That is who you are capable of becoming. Not through aggression, not through performance, but through mastery of the most underrated force in human psychology: silence. Start practicing today. In your next conversation, speak less, pause longer, hold your ground quietly, observe what changes. Because the world does not reward the loudest man in the room. It rewards the calmest. And now, you know why.